Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Music and Moonsaults. I am your host, Chris Bordine, and it's been a month, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everyone for reaching out. I've been unable to do anything to record any new shows or anything like that because my wife had to take over my my office / man cave here. She hurt herself. End of February. She's all good. Everything's fine. But she had to work from home for a while. And so, yeah, she kind of took over the place, which, that's fine. So, but we're back at it with some WrestleMania predictions. So, yeah, I'm just going to run down the card for both nights of WrestleMania here and give my thoughts, as uneducated as they might be, because I haven't... obviously I've been keeping up on stuff, but I haven't been fully engrossed into the weekly WWE product as I normally am around this time of year. So this will be fun. Just kind of looking things over. It looks like night one is definitely going to be the better night. But I guess we'll see. That things can change. So yeah, we're just gonna start here, night one, and we got the New Day, which is King Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston taking on the team of Sheamus and Ridge Holland. If the former Pete Dunne, now known as Butch, was in this match, I might say they will pick up the win. But seeing as he's not, and it's just Sheamus and Ridge Holland, I think you got to give the New Day the win here. That sounds like the play for me. Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. Again, I think you got to give Drew the win here. Corbin, you need to build top baby faces on SmackDown, and whether Roman wins or loses on night two, you need people for him to go up against on a week, people who are going to be there on a week in, week out basis. So yeah, I think you got to have Drew win over Happy Corbin here. And then we go to the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. The Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. I'm torn on this one. I'm thinking that we might get a switch here. I'm thinking Shinsuke and Boogs pick up the W and win the SmackDown Tag Team titles, because they sure love giving Shinsuke Nakamura titles to have him do absolutely nothing with them. So that sounds like a perfect opportunity to add to that list. So. And, the Usos will get him back. They're, 7-8 time champions at this point, so they'll get him back. And then we've got Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus The Miz and Logan Paul. I could really care less about this one. Or couldn't care less. Sorry, excuse me. But celebrity... could go either way. Sure, why not? I'm gonna go. I've gone babyface heavy so far. I'm gonna go with the Miz and Logan Paul picking up the victory in this match. And so that brings us to the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch, the champion, going up against Bianca Belair, the challenger. You have to put the belt on back on Bianca here. It's a no-brainer. You beat her in 26 seconds at SummerSlam. It feels like everything else, whether intentionally or unintentionally, has been building to this moment since then. You have to put the belt on Bianca. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, then we get to a match I've been clamoring for since one of these gentlemen made his triumphant return to in-ring action a couple years ago at the Royal Rumble. It was pretty much the first interaction he had in the Rumble. We're talking about Edge and AJ Styles. These are two of my top 5 wrestlers of all time. I have been hoping we would get to this match, and we're here. And I'm not crazy about Edge. I think we could have just done I don't think we needed Edge to try and turn like super duper heel here. I think we would have been fine just like having both guys be kind of fan favorites here going into this match, and have the crowd cheer for whoever they're going to cheer for, and just have a really kick-ass awesome match. But Edge chose to turn heel, and here we are. I think AJ's gonna win. No, you know what? We're gonna go with Edge. We're gonna go with the heel here. Edge is gonna win. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. And now the other match in night 1 that I'm looking forward to most, if the rumors are indeed true. We have Seth Rollins coming to the ring to face a mystery opponent, handpicked by Mr. McMahon. I can see it now. Seth is in the ring. No chance! Out comes Vince. Struts onto the stage. Not all the way down to the ring. I'm assuming that ramp is going to be way too long for him to strut all the way down to the ring. And he's like 80 years old, and it probably will take forever. But he goes out to the ramp and is like, adrenaline in my soul. Here's your opponent, Cody Rhodes. Ha 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 ha. And out comes Cody Rhodes. And I think Cody Rhodes has got to get the W on his first night back into the WWE. Rollins is pretty much bulletproof at this point. So, yeah, I think you give the win to Cody here, if that is indeed the mystery opponent. And, yeah, away we go. I'm excited for Cody to come. It's just, if nothing else, it's going to add some... it's going to shake things up, add some excitement back in to WWE programming that hasn't been felt in quite some time. Something fresh, something new. So there's conflicting information about what's going to close the show on night 1 of WrestleMania. Depending on where you look, it'll either be the SmackDown Women's Championship between Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey, or it'll be the KO show with Kevin Owens and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm okay. If the KO show is just the KO show, that's not going to main event. If the KO show evolves into a match, then I could see that closing the night. But either way, the KO show is going to end with Stone Cold Steve Austin hitting a Stone Cold Stunner on Kevin Owens, drinking a bunch of beer, and to the adoring faithful in Dallas, Texas. So that's how that's going to go. And then the SmackDown Women's Championship, it feels like it's got to go to Ronda. Yeah, it feels like it's got to go on Ronda. Again, like the Usos, Charlotte will get it back again, before long. But depending on what the plans are for Ronda and that, I think Ronda's got to win here to take the SmackDown Women's Championship. So that is night 1 of WrestleMania. And then night 2 seems like it's a little lighter. I don't know if anything will be added before Sunday. But we'll see. We got Bobby Lashley versus Omos. Look, Bobby Lashley should not be taking L's to Omos. So Bobby's got to win this one. We've got the Raw Tag Team Championships. RK Bro defending against the Street Profits and Alpha Academy. So, I mean, if RK Bro is going to continue to be a thing, I think if you're going to break him up, you're going to break him up to have a match at WrestleMania. Now, I think you got to try and hold off until SummerSlam. Because I think that's a match that you got to have. And maybe Money in the Bank, seeing as Money in the Bank they're doing in a stadium too. So maybe you could do that, but you gotta stretch this out a little bit longer. But then again, they've already beaten everybody. So I could see. I'm gonna go on the record and say that the Street Profits. We're gonna go Street Profits. Pick up the titles here and the victory. We've got the Women's Tag Team Championships. We got Carmella and Queen Zelina, the champions, versus Naomi and Sasha, Liv Morgan and Rhea, or Natalya and Shayna Baszler. I don't think... I think the belts are coming off Carmella and Zelina. I don't think Naomi and Sasha... I think that might be... I don't want to say beneath Sasha, but at this point, yeah, it kind of is beneath Sasha. Not necessarily being in a team with Naomi, because Naomi's great, but these tag team titles are just are not great. And I'm gonna go with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. Why not? That's my pick. Then we got the two quote unquote celebrity matches. Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. I've really liked. I understand if you're wishing Sami Zayn had a little something better to do for WrestleMania. I on the surface I would agree with that, but I think the work they've been doing, especially on social media for this feud, has been stellar, and I think both men deserve to be applauded for it. But Sami Zayn's got to beat Johnny Knoxville. There's no... just Sami Zayn's got to beat Johnny Knoxville. And an Austin Theory versus Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee wrestled 2 matches in NXT. He wrestled Adam Cole SummerSlam weekend in 2020. And then he also did the War Games match and lost both matches. Austin Theory seems like a guy that obviously they're really high on. Like, he's got a lot of screen time with Vince McMahon. So as much as it pains it for me to say, because I really like Pat, and I think he's going to show out. I think, regardless of what your feelings are on Austin Theory, I think this is going to be a match that people, are talking about in a positive light after the weekend's over. But I think Austin Theory wins, unfortunately. Sorry, Pat McAfee. And then, as of right now, that just leaves us with the main event. Winner take all unification. The Universal Champion Roman Reigns versus the WWE Champion Brock Lesnar. Now, I don't think it's a question Roman Reigns is winning. Especially last night, he made it a point to talk about him being 0-2 versus Brock at WrestleMania. I don't think you bring that up unless you plan on changing that. So I think Roman finally gets his WrestleMania win against Brock Lesnar. So that's not the question to me. The question to me is, how long do these titles stay unified? What's the plan going forward with the top titles? Is Roman going to become a floating champion going brand to brand? Is this unification only going to be temporary? Is he defending both belts? Like, there's so much of those questions to remain to be answered. But yeah, I definitely think Roman's winning, and then who knows what they're going to do with the titles after that. But chalk Roman up for the win. So yeah, that's it. Those are my WrestleMania thoughts. I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm definitely more excited looking at the cards as a whole. Definitely more excited for night 1. Um but that's going to happen. I think if you continue to do these 2-night WrestleManias, I think most years you're going to have one night that's looking a little bit better than the other. But I would say I'd much rather have that than have a bloated like 8-hour WrestleMania on one night. So, and I know I'd love to go back to the days where WrestleMania was 4 hours and every other pay-per-view was a hard 3 hours. But it looks like at least for now those days are behind us. So I think to make the best of the situation is we do this for 2-night deal going forward. So, but yeah, I'm excited for the weekend. I'm excited for Supercard of Honor. I'm really looking forward to the FTR versus Briscoes match. Definitely, like I'm super pumped for that one. And I'll probably check out NXT Stand and Deliver, for sure. I might not watch it live, but I'll probably check it out. Hall of Fame, I'll have to wait until sometime later in the week to watch. So my wife, because wife's a big Undertaker fan, so she's gonna want to see that. I'm pretty pumped about the Steiners getting in. Go Blue. Yeah, so look, it's WrestleMania weekend. Whatever your feelings are about WWE at the moment, it's WrestleMania weekend, and whether you're into WWE or not, there's a lot of things going on surrounding WrestleMania weekend, with other promotions and stuff that you can at least thank WrestleMania and WWE for being the reason why all this stuff is happening in one place for this weekend. So yeah, but that's it. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We're gonna get back on track here as we roll into April, and things get back to normal in my life. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun this year, the rest of the year. So, you follow me on Twitter at IbanezChris. You can see me see my daily hurdle results. That's Wordle for music. It's a lot of fun testing myself. I've come to realize that I know a lot of these songs. Like if I heard like a middle 30 seconds, but sometimes these opening 30 seconds of songs I don't think I've ever heard before. So, but it's fun. It's a fun game to play. So, if nothing else, follow me for that every day. Yeah. So, until next time, guys. Enjoy your WrestleMania. R.I.P. Taylor Hawkins. And see ya.